On today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I'm approaching my training in order to dodge the dad bod. Now, before I get into the weeds of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I want to start off by stressing the importance of having a plan to follow, especially if you're somebody who has got some seriously life-changing goals that you want to achieve in 2025. Now, one thing that I like to remind my clients of all the time is that we don't rise to the level of our goals, but instead we fall to the level of our planning. Now, the three main reasons why having a plan in place is so vitally important for you and your results is down to: one, it's clearly going to increase your chance of success. Number two, it's going to cut out the confusion and overwhelm as to what your next move needs to be. And number three, it's going to stop you becoming distracted when life throws you a curveball. Now, I'm still sadly seeing so many people being far too ad hoc with their efforts, doing far too much random shit in the gym and throwing anything and everything at a wall and hoping something sticks. Now, there might be an element of naivety and inexperience at play here, but in the main, the reason why people are becoming so increasingly frustrated and pissed off why they're not where they want to be yet is because they don't have a strategy. They don't have a roadmap to go from A to B. And as a result, they're putting their energy into the wrong areas. They think doing more is better, when in reality, doing things better is better. Now, in order for a plan to be effective, it has to be bespoke to you, the individual. Now, listen, I could go on Google and within 30 seconds, I could have a plan in front of me. Now, the issue with these generic plans is that they don't factor you into the thinking of its design. They don't take into consideration that you might be a parent, that you might work 50-hour weeks, that you might be having some personal stress going on. There might be some considerations that you need to factor into your thinking when it comes to your training. Yet when you're just given this generic cookie-cutter plan, there is a likelihood that you're going to fail. You're going to become, again, increasingly pissed off because you can't uphold the demands of what that plan wants from you. Now, one way that I like to approach my programming for my clients and myself is to undersell to then over-deliver, which basically in a nutshell means that it increases our chances of long-term success because anything on top is a bonus. Now, in order for us to be able to stick to a plan long-term and for the plan to pose less questions and less overwhelm is to ensure then that your expectations and reality are on the same page. Now, you might come into your goals and think, yeah, I can train 6-7 days a week. I can do 2 hours of fasted cardio every morning, no questions asked. Now, even though your intentions are good and even though you are willing and wanting to do more, reality is going to say otherwise. Now, my suggestion and advice would be to, again, undersell yourself. Now, for me at the moment, with all the changes that are around the corner for us as a family, and for me personally, with his daughter on the way, there is more likelihood that I'm going to be having to spin more plates. And if I try to expect more from myself in the midst of that, I'm going to become overwhelmed, right? There's going to be more chance of me throwing the towel in, not gaining traction, not gaining momentum, and just generally distancing myself from where I want to be. So my intentions coming into this new block of training and some of the changes that I'm making within my programming, some of the things I need to consider is actually to do less initially, because anything on top is not only going to be a bonus, but it's also going to mean I'm going to be able to keep my finger on the pulse and build momentum. And in building momentum is going to create more of a positive mindset and more of a positive environment for me when it comes to pursuing my goals. Let's talk about my training then. And if you guys can take any tips, pointers, inspiration from what I'm doing, and you can apply it to your own goals, your own journey, your own life, amazing. So those who follow me on Instagram will have seen it's been well documented for God knows how many years now, that I have been a huge advocate of a push-pull split. So training 4 times a week, 2 sessions push, 2 sessions pull. Now, at the time, that suited me really well for a whole host of reasons. Life, what I was bringing to the table in terms of my capacity of training, how frequently I could train. In a couple of weeks' time, there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of changes that are around the corner. So I'd rather get ahead of the curve now as opposed to be reactive to when everything is up in the air, when all these changes are presented to me all at once. So in order to get ahead of the curve, the changes are going to come in the form of a reduction in training frequency, because I know, again, fast forward a couple of weeks, a month's time, hopefully not a month, is there's going to be less time for me to commit to training. I'm going to be, no doubt, probably more sleep deprived than I am already. Energy is going to be less readily available. Stress is certainly going to be a lot higher. So I'd rather be realistic now and meet my expectations and what reality is going to look like in the middle, and make those adjustments now so I've got momentum coming into these changes. So 3 times a week, 3 full body sessions a week is a great trade-off. Now, there might be a lot of you watching this who have been in a similar scenario where life's now different. Things have needed to change, whether it be work-related, family, personal, whatever it may be. And there's this assumption that because things are now different, that what's the point? Because I can't do X, what's the point of trying to do Y and Z? And one thing that I bang on about with clients all the time is the ability to flex within adversity, or to chop and change, and to make adjustments, the right adjustments, when certain changes are presented to us. And there's always a way of working around things. There is always an opportunity for you to make it suit your new surroundings or your new environment. Whatever's actually happened to you does not mean that your goals now need to be parked. Does not now mean that you need to be put on the back burner. Absolutely not. I made a lot of noise about this on my last video, talking about there's even more responsibility that's going to be on my plate in a few weeks. There's going to be even more people depending on me. Now, I'm not willing to let those people and my business as well within all of that suffer as a result of what some of the changes that are happening. So it's kind of 2 roads I can go down. Again, I can either roll over and admit defeat, or I can be like, nah, I'm going to make it work. Because I also value my health, and I also want to be the best for, again, everything and everyone around me. So this is why I'm making the changes now. And this is why I'd strongly encourage, again, you guys, if there's stuff that you've got going on or that's pending in the next few weeks or months that you're going to have to make some changes around, do them now. So you're coming into it on the front foot. You're almost answered future questions before they've been asked, and you just feel like you've got more momentum about you, and you're going to be more bought into the idea of the changes that you need to make. So how does training look right now for me? So 3 full body sessions a week. The thinking behind that is it allows me to spread my volume more evenly across my training week for 2 main reasons. One, so I can perform at a higher level and work harder and still train with the right amount of intensity that I want. And also as well, it allows me to recover really well. How many of you guys, I know I used to do this in the past, chest Mondays, leg days, you'd be in the gym for like an hour, 2 hours, God knows how long, and you just do a shit ton of volume. You just absolutely smash that muscle to bits. The issue with that is obviously soreness. There's going to be a drop-off in your actual training performance within the session. And also as well, you're not training that muscle for the next, 6-7 days. Now, for me, one thing that I'm finding with this full body split is I can just almost drip feed my work throughout the week. I can be more engaged and present when it comes to training that muscle again. And I'm feeling that I'm able to progress at a much quicker level. I mean, listen, these last 4 weeks nearly, when I've been training like this, have been amazing. This isn't me just, trying to be all motivational, be like, yeah, it's working really well. And when I switch the camera off, I start crying. Like, no, listen, the sessions are really productive. I'm super engaged. I'm recovering really well outside of them. And I feel a lot of that's got to do with how I'm actually pitching my work across my week, where I'm budgeting my energy. And also as well, that's been factoring in 2 runs a week as well, which I'll touch on in a minute. So the structure of the actual sessions, like I spoke about on my last video, is weak point training always. So the areas of my physique that I either, one, I'm lacking in, or it's kind of lagging behind other areas. And number 2, historically, movements that I'd just, not do, I'd put off. I'd be like, yeah, I'll train later. No, I won't. This was also brought to light off the back of my photo shoot in July. And when dieting down, even though I was in the best nick that I've ever been in, it really highlighted to me areas of my body and my physique and my frame that I want to develop on. So the way in which I like to almost describe programming and how you prioritize what you need to work on more than others is how you guys will budget your finances. You've got certain expenses that are going to be higher than others. It's similar with training. Things that are going to be more of a priority, things that need more attention, things that need more of, in this instance, kind of the budget of your energy, we need to give it more. So for me, there's certain muscle groups that are slightly more high volume than others. And the thinking behind it is the precious time that I do have, I want to be putting it into the right areas. So running. Runs have been something that I brought in probably the last, I'd probably say like 6-7 weeks. And the benefits have just blown me away, to be fair. I came into the idea of running down to more health-focused goals. I've been, very much a weightlifting kind of guy for so many years. That's my bread and butter. It always will be. It's what got me into this industry in the first place. But I don't know whether or not it probably is actually the realization of, I'm getting older. I'm becoming a dad again. There's more people depending on me. I need to be the healthiest version of myself possible. And not only in a physical sense, but mentally and emotionally as well. And one correlation I've found in the last 7-8 weeks when I've brought more running into my training is it's just had an unprecedented amount of improvements to what's going on upstairs, how productive I'm being, how present I'm being off the back of a run, just how accomplished I feel, how good I feel in my own skin. And that's something that I want to still be a mainstay within all of this programming and how I'm structuring everything. So for me, training and factoring in my training and my running as well, the beauty with actually reducing my training frequency, so going from 4 to 3, it's allowing me to slot those 2 runs in, but also as well still look after my recovery, my performance over 7 days. Now, if I was doing 4-5 sessions a week and still trying to, run, let's say 2 to 3 sessions, that's a lot of volume, right? That's a lot of work that's expected of me. So I think inadvertently, I probably stumbled across this reduction in training frequency in the gym has actually allowed me to budget that little bit more time and recovery capabilities into my actual running. And things at the moment are quite harmonious. And I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the sessions. I'm really enjoying the progression week to week. I'm enjoying how I'm feeling outside of the gym. That might be a completely different story in a few weeks' time when I'm even more sleep deprived than I am now, and energy's a lot lower and I'm a lot more stressed. But for now, listen, I'm riding with it. So there's going to be a lot more in-depth kind of analysis of my sessions, of my runs, how I'm spinning all these plates, because I want to give you guys a fly-on-the-wall look as to how it can be done. And like I said on my previous video, if there's just one person, just one of you guys watching this who has taken some inspiration from what I'm doing and me kind of leading from the front and showing you it can be done, how you can still balance life, family, and also your goals, that's a job well done in my opinion. So if you have any questions on today's video, you can either drop me a message on my Instagram or you can drop the question in the comment section below. Don't forget as well to do all that good stuff, to like, share and subscribe this video. I'm really wanting to grow this channel. It's certainly a different direction for me as a coach for IP, and I'm really passionate about helping as many of you guys as I possibly can, and you guys supporting this channel and putting it in front of people who might not have seen me otherwise and really may have needed to watch this video to inspire them as well. It is going to help me no end. So really appreciate any help that you guys can give to me and this channel and to IP. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you next week.